Okay, today we have something really special. First of all, this is the first look and the first podcast in my newly beautifully made studio. If you want, go on Instagram and look up Design by Heike. This is Eli Erenthal. She has helped me design this whole gorgeous studio, and we'll get into that in the podcast. This podcast we're going back to the basics. This is the new studio. I wanted to go back to the basics, to the original. This podcast is with Eli Erenthal, who is my right-hand man. And I want to say, every single thing I do in our village, with the podcast, with all the work we're doing up in Muncie, building this community, could not be possible without Eli Erenthal. He is there by my side in every step of the way. We started this podcast together, and I got to bring him back, talk about what it's been like running our village, doing all these projects to build this absolutely stunning community that just keeps growing and growing. He is one of the most kindest, most compassionate, most wonderful people you will know. He's been doing this forever, and I am quite privileged to have him as the main man on my team. So this podcast, we got to talk about all that stuff. I will say, if you stick around long enough, just by accident, I think I laughed the hardest I've ever laughed on any podcast. But if you make it, write it in the comments. But it wasn't relevant to anything, but it was a great laugh. And that often happens when I'm talking to Ellie. Whenever we're talking, the conversations are amazing. They're deep, they're meaningful, and they're full of passion and revolution and change and growth and healing. So this was the way I wanted to really start off this new podcast in this new studio. And I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. Also, like, follow, comment. I love to see the comments. Send comments, even if they're not the most beautiful comments. Just put it out there. Let me hear what you have to say, and have a great day.
Hello and welcome to the Brainstorm podcast. And now, your host, Sonny Perlman.
We're live, for real. Okay, so this is, we haven't did a pod. This is Eli Erenthal. You're going to get the whole intro later, right? My right-hand man.
Yeah.
COO. Chief
COO.
of Operations. So, people who don't know or are new to the podcast, the first 3 podcasts, me and you.
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
I
How
haven't
long ago
listened
was
to
that?
them in a long time.
Don't listen. Please do not go back.
Did you
and
listen again?
They're very cringe. It was in the early days. We didn't have video yet.
In a video?
It was the first pod. We had no idea what we were doing.
I thought it was great.
They
It
were
was a
great.
real lesson, and it was actually I was not ready to do podcasting, and we just did it.
We did.
I think that's the best advice.
Kind
in
of like
life.
everything that we do here.
Yes.
We have no idea what we're doing. Can we say that on the air, that we don't know what we're doing?
No, we can't say that because it's not true at all.
Oh.
We're not ready to do what we're doing.
Right. Okay.
We know a lot what we're doing,
Yeah.
but sometimes other people will spend another 3 years of research figuring it out and raising the money before they do it.
Right.
And we're shoot first, ask questions later type of chevra.
Mission first.
Mission first?
Mission first.
You don't say shoot first, you say mission first.
I mean, maybe not in this line of work, you know.
Gotcha. So, okay, so I mean, I will do intro, but basically, for anybody who needs to know, we do everything together.
We do.
And we've even been referred to, you're my work wife.
Work wife, yes. No offense to the actual wives.
No.
I don't know why you'd be offended.
But we get everything done. So the excitement is that we're at about 100 podcasts.
Wait, first of all, I just want to say about what you just said,
Yeah.
that I am the only person in the whole entire world that gets that position.
Of what?
I get to be your work wife. I'm the only one. There's only one of me, right? There's only one right-hand man for Sonny
And he
Perlman.
still likes me.
And that's me. So that's my flex in life.
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, really been. I mean, basically every single day we get to hang out and work together, and I get to learn from you, and you get to be, I get to have you as a mentor and a friend, and I'm learning from the best.
Yeah.
So,
and you have to do all the work.
Well, that's the way you get the real experience, by doing the actual work.
This is what happens. I have a brainstorm, which we'll have a brainstorm sign here soon.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the new studio in a second. We're going to have a brainstorm, and then Ellie has to come up with it. But also, Ellie has to do it. But also, here's the problem. You've got inspired to come up with your own brainstorms.
Yes.
And do it without even telling me.
This
You're
is true.
By the way, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
So,
but the truth is, though, first of all, I appreciate the flexibility to do that. I've never really liked rules or having to listen to anybody or having anybody tell me what to do. I don't know if you don't know that about me yet.
yeah.
Fun fact about Ellie. Ellie the Rebel.
Which, by the way, I believe is really fine in life on one condition: if you could get things done by yourself.
Right. Yeah, it's true.
So I've always bucked authority, but if you buck authority and then don't do anything, then you need some authority in your life.
Yeah. So I think that I do well autonomously, and having the freedom to have creative freedom here in the work that I do, and to also be able to follow my heart and to do what's right, and also having your trust, allows me to lean into the things that, first of all, that I'm good at, but also the things that I enjoy.
Right. Well, as people don't know, in our village, there really is 2 communities going on at the same time, maybe 3 altogether. There's a community of the guys, and there's a community of the staff, and maybe the third community is the guys and the staff together.
Yeah.
Would be the overall community. But I think that is the weird thing about what I do is that you would think that the most important people are the guys that we work with, the addicts. In reality, the most important people to me is my staff.
Why is that?
Because of my staff.
I mean, I know about myself why I'm the most important person.
No,
too,
what
but-
I'm saying, if my staff,
Yeah.
I just had a conversation with one of my staff, and first thing I want to know, how are you doing? Because I get that there's an issue going on and we got to deal with something, but if my staff is fading and starting to burn out and have difficulties, I don't have a program. There's nothing. There's no leaders to lead this program. So it's weird for me because it's a switch from when it used to be. It was always yes, the bottom line is that the guys are the most important, but I don't have to focus too much on the guys if my staff is rock solid because they're doing all the work.
Well, we are blessed to have a rock solid staff.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Such a good staff. So this is a little bit of a recap episode, but there'll hopefully be a lot of other parts of this episode. But first of all, let's point out that when we started on this podcast, so besides for our village, we did a podcast. The podcast was made for several reasons. Actually, do you know all the reasons why this podcast exists?
I mean, you could talk about the professional ones. We really want to spread a message to the world about, the work that we're doing here. Part of the mission is to really educate the world on the philosophy of, that we believe in over here about community and about, a love-centered approach, attachment-based approach. And that was probably one of the primary reasons. Also let the world know that our village exists and that there is a place in this little town, Pomona, New York, that there's a thriving, beautiful community of people that are recovering and are doing it together, and that we don't take ourselves so seriously, and we like to laugh and have a good time, but also take our recovery very seriously. But I think the main reason is because this is something that you enjoy doing, and it's fun. And it's get to meet tons of interesting people and have amazing conversations, and yeah, that's probably the reason why it keeps going. If I
This
if
is
I
how,
miss.
I just want to let everybody know this is how it works. I don't have to think. Ellie tells me, this is what you think. No, I love
well,
it.
as your work wife,
But it is true.
finishing your sentences is part of my job.
I miss making a really good joke there, but I'm sorry. But I didn't.
That's good. Look at it.
I messed it. You were going to say finish that as part of my job. I was going to cut you off and say another word. It wasn't
We
fun.
missed that one. Okay.
Anyway, so I would say that the real push to do the podcast that I've always kind of wanted to do, to spread messages and have great conversations, kind of the stuff you said at the end, the real push was our village was being built, and it was, I wanted the world to know what's going on. I want people to not only send to our village, but to start looking at the whole topic of healing and recovery in a different lens. And I'm hoping, and by the way, I feel that's happening, is that people start imitating the ideas. It's not just I want to build a program. I want people to really look at recovery world and say, we need to analyze this and add stuff and take away stuff and figure out how to, like my biggest pet peeve in the whole industry is that at best is 20% success rate in the best treatment programs. If a cancer research was 20% success rate, then, if you did a cancer treatment, then that cancer treatment's pretty terrible, and you better keep doing some cancer research. In the recovery space, the research just stopped. It was like, this is what we do. We're 12-step based, we're behavioral based, whatever it is. The fact that the successes are very, very low, you can't stop analyzing it. So I think our village, besides for being an amazing program, is a bit of a research program where we're constantly trying our new methods, but also being humble enough to know when something has to be changed and something has to be tweaked, and what are the differences. And it's actually really difficult to try something that's new. People have said that before, but also because sometimes you're wrong.
That is true, and there's also a lot of pushback, which I think one of the things that we're very blessed with at our village is that you don't care so much about that stuff. That doesn't really bother you. You're not only are you open and welcome to, we'll call it criticism, but also something that you've taught me is that we don't respond to that we don't respond to criticism. We just follow the truth and do what we see is working, and don't get wrapped up in, other people. If they feel like that this is not okay or what we're doing is wrong, then they should be blessed to go open their own programs and do it the way they think makes sense.
Right.
So
I will say an extra thing, which, by the way, I learned that from Chaim Glantz. That's not from me. Like, Chaim taught me that, like, a fight has to have two people. So if someone's giving you criticism, the only thing you could do is look at the criticism, see if there's any truth to it, follow that truth, and then ignore the rest. That's, and fights just go away.
yeah,
I think there is a big frustration with me that people will listen to criticism and they'll miss out on sending to a program like ours. So that is hard for me, because I'm like, just look at the numbers. Look at the successes. Look at the fact that people are moving on in life and becoming independent and living great lives, fully reintegrating into the community. Take a look at that and analyze it from that perspective, and see. And even on the negative side, like if you think there are negative things, like think about how bad the negatives are as opposed to negatives of other programs. Every program is going to have negatives, but if someone has an issue with you, they blow it up. So I think the frustration with me is not that I care or want to fight with them. It's just that people miss out, because some of those critics are people who people are listening to.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I think at the end of the day, the only thing we could really do about that is just keep doing what we're doing, and to let the success speak for itself, and and pray that people who need to find us are going to find us, and we'll be able to come and get the healing that they need.
Right.
And even the critics, maybe they could come, they could spend time with us, come see what we're doing. That's like an invite to anybody that's listening that wants to come see what we're doing. spend the day with us and just like see what it looks like a day in the village.
Yeah.
And we're always open to conversations and to hear what you may think we're doing right or wrong. I mean, the truth is, the criticism, probably the people who are most critical about us are ourselves. Like when something is going wrong, when really something that I think makes us really special is that when we recognize that there's a client that's struggling, or there's something is wrong, or something isn't working the way we would expect it to work, we don't look at the client behavior. We look at our own behavior and say, okay, where is it that we are not showing up for this client enough, which would enable them to do the things that they're, that we would hope that they would be doing.
Right.
So, I think that's what a lot of what our staff meetings look like.
Well, that is an interesting thing, because I don't know if we talked about this on any other podcast. This is fun because we're talking shop, but one of the ways, because we do research on how many success. I mean, success is a funny word. How many people are sober after a period of time, and there's a couple other metrics we want to look at: if they've reintegrated back to the community, if they got married, if they, if they have jobs, they have. So we were looking at all these different metrics, but one of the things I've always been serious about is that it's from day one. It's not graduates of our program. I want to know what the numbers are of people that are doing well based on the day they walked in. So if a guy comes in and he leaves in a week, to me, why? Why did he leave in a week?
Right.
What were you able to? It's like that fascinating Jewish thing that you have to do in Egla Rufa. The Egla Rufa, like a guy leaves town, you got to make sure you let him go in the right way, and you got to bring a carbon or something like that. If you're not Jewish, you're not going to understand that. Sorry. It's another class for another
time. Even if
time.
you are Jewish, chances are that might be one of the more obscure things. But yeah.
No, you know what? Let me say it a little longer.
Yeah.
Let me say it a little longer. So there's an idea in the Torah where if a guy is found dead between two towns, then the town that he left from has to meet with the town he's going to, or maybe just the town he left from has to come and give a certain sacrifice and say that they gave this person every chance they can to make it to the next town and not die. And they gave them the right food, they gave them enough drink, they made sure that they were escorted out the proper way. And so I think that a lot of what we do is we are the town, and when somebody is found not doing well outside the town, us as the leaders of that town have to say, did we do everything we could to escort this person to independence? We're using that idea of independence. So I think that is how our staff meetings look. That's how we are analyzing ourselves, is saying, what are we doing to help this person and this whole group get to the next town, which in life is going from dependence to independence, which is a much more bigger discussion.
Yeah.
Which we did discuss in those first pods, by the way.
Did we?
I think so.
Please don't go back and watch it.
Everybody watch the first 3 pods. You can't watch it. It's audio.
Yeah.
First 3 pods, and make a lot of comments and tell me how cringe it is.
Thanks.
In terms of podcasting.
Yeah.
But then, okay, so then
actually, if you do go back and listen, you'll see the dichotomy, where we came to, how far we've come, with the podcast.
With the podcast.
Yeah.
And okay, so let's mention this. We have I'm gonna do a plug for your wife Heike, who has started a design business. And if you get to see the wide shots, I hope you can show the wide shot and the regular shots. This is a brand new podcast. It's not fully done. There's a couple of more tweaks that are going to happen. But this is the first. This is why I wanted to have Ellie on specifically this podcast, is that this is the first time I'm shooting a podcast in the new studio. And there is so much awesome detail in here. I'll do it on Instagram. I'll do a full tour of all the really cool details of the podcast. I will tell you this This I gotta put this down a little. Can we see Sonny? Right behind me is Sonny the alligator. If you're on YouTube, that's Sonny the alligator, and he's my champion. So he's behind me, and we have a lot of other awesome
He's
things.
a spirit animal.
He's my spirit animal, and his name is actually Sonny, but it's a longer story. And every single detail is with love, and it's just beautiful. So I'm giving her a little plug.
Yeah, so actually, Chaiki, right now our village has, we have 6 locations in total, and actually Chaiki was intimately involved in designing each and every one of them, and and all the beautiful spaces that we have at our village, Chaiki had her hand in it and her keen eye for design, and I'm really, really proud of her. And
What's your Instagram again? We're gonna give her a plug.
it's Chaiki Designs, I believe. But we'll put it in the show notes.
Hold on.
We'll put it in the show notes.
We'll put it in the show notes, but I want to say it.
Yeah.
Is it Chaiki Designs? You better be right.
Yeah, I think I'm right.
You better be right. Hold on. Chaiki. It's like that, right? Ooh, maybe I was spelling it wrong.
It's Chaiky.
No,
She's
wrong.
Oh.
Wrong. Designs by Chaiki.
Basically that's what I said.
No, you wouldn't find it at all. Designs by Chaiki, and Chaiki is spelled Chaiky.
That part I got right.
That part you got right.
Actually, funny story.
Funny story.
You want to hear a funny story?
It's got great pictures here.
When I proposed to Chaiki, which was probably close to 19 years ago. So I was working in a trucking company at the time, and I thought of this genius idea. I'm gonna spray paint the side of a truck, and I'm gonna write "Chaiki, will you marry me?" on the side of a truck. Okay. Which is a whole nother story. Getting the spray paint off, big disaster. Don't do that. If you're gonna do that, first put some paper on or something. But the point is, I spelled her name wrong. I spelled it Chaiki.
Oh wow!
And I'm still.
She hasn't forgotten.
Yeah. So it's definitely a Y, not an I.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You were also like super young when you got married.
I got married at 21.
21.
Yeah.
Holy cow. I got married even younger. Just throwing that out there. Not that it's a competition, but I did get married at 20.
Wow.
Which is absolutely wild.
Yeah.
It was worth it. And by the way, Chaiki added a whole bunch of love things. Picture of me and my wife. A love. She knows how much I'm into love.
Yes.
So she
and your wife, because you never ever stop mentioning it. So
I mentioned my wife a little bit.
Yeah. Surprised there's no Tesla up here.
Where's the Tesla?
Yeah.
I do love my Tesla, and I've been driving it full self auto, whatever.
Incredible.
Full.
That's incredible.
I even discovered a way that I could watch stuff while I'm driving.
Okay. Kids, don't listen. That's bad behavior.
If you're listening to my pod, stop listening to my pod in general. Just stop listening.
Yeah.
There's a lot of topics here that are
I wonder if
sensitive.
people know that if you work for our village, that a Tesla is in your future. Right now, at least 3 employees are driving Teslas.
It doesn't make sense to not drive a Tesla at this point in our lives. Anyway, so we did that. So we got, I don't know for 100 episodes, but it's really close.
It is definitely close to that, yeah.
It's close, and it's been over like 3 years. What is it? Almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I keep trying to do it every single week, and people are starting to get upset when I don't do it every week.
Yeah, it's tough to keep up.
It's really tough to keep up.
Yeah,
and I'm very weird about who I want on as guests. Also, this is something that people don't know. I'm a very, very moody guy. So I could go like 2 weeks. I'm just not in the mood to do a podcast.
I haven't noticed. I mean, I'm around you all the time.
You haven't noticed.
Yeah. No, people are actually shocked when they find out that you're like just a regular human, that you go to the bathroom and you eat sometimes. People are like, what? Sonny Perlman has emotions?
The way I see myself is this little Wilde Chaya kid in Seach Yitzchak, which was my little cheder. when I was a kid, diving into the cement to like get a triple, you know, like because they only had cement in their backyard.
Yeah, you kind of still do that in some ways.
So
like, you do
that's-
some outlandish things.
Right. So when people put me on like weird pedestals, I'm like, I'm just a Vildachaya. It's just deeply inside now.
Yeah, you're not a Vildachaya. You are a redhead, though.
I am a redhead.
Yeah.
But I definitely have to let that Vilda get out. But yeah, I do get moody, and it's been quite a journey. And a lot of times I'll do a podcast and think it's not going to be good, and that's people's favorite podcast. So
Yeah.
I miss out on that.
Yeah. I wonder. I don't know if it's totally accurate. If I've listened to more podcasts than anyone else, because I've basically listened to every single one since the beginning. I missed a couple. Some may have been intentional.
I'm really curious if there are people out there who have listened to all the podcasts.
Well, it's really fun when you meet like diehard fans, people like throw back, oh, I remember that episode, or they're like quoting lines from you. Or I love when people like send me like, clips.
Dude, the other
from
day
the
at
pod.
Shul, that guy was literally,
he was.
it was Mila Vamila. He was quoting.
Yeah, he also would be very excited if we mentioned him on this pod. Yeah.
You can mention him.
It's Steve Waldman. Yeah,
It's Steve Waldman was the guy. He was
Huge
mamish.
fan.
He was
even
asking
said
me-
that like we would have conversations and then he would hear it later on the podcast. Yeah, he's a big fan. We would call him like a
shout
super
out
fan.
Steve. Super fan.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was a super fan, but he was.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about a fan is that they know my podcast way better than me.
Yeah.
I had a conversation.
Do you even
3
ever
months
do you
ago.
listen, by the way, to any of the episodes? We could talk about that. 'Cause, I mean, you're there for the episode.
I don't listen to
You
any
don't listen.
episodes.
I bet. It makes sense. I mean, it makes sense that you wouldn't listen to it. But
Why does that make sense?
you're there for the conversation live. You're the creator. You're the content creator. Like we're listening because like we want to hear.
Also, I'm not so used to hearing my own voice.
Yeah,
It's very odd to me
I hear
to
that.
hear my own voice.
I hear. That's why I think those first episodes are so like. When I listen to myself on the pod, I'm like, ugh,
Oh, because it was you were on
that's embarrassing.
it. Okay.
No, but even like, well, yeah. Even this, when I listen to it, I'll be like, Ellie, come on. You're so embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Yeah.
No, I don't listen to my own podcast, but I keep, like last night I was at a wedding, and shout out Itzik. Itzik watches my podcast.
Nice. Mazel tov,
Itzik Siegel. He just got married last night. Beautiful, beautiful wedding. Holy cow, so beautiful. And just people coming over to me and say like, it's like, I think it's become like the clean the dishes, Motzei Shabbos activity. Like, I just wait for it to come out. I am absolutely shocked to hear all the people that are listening and watching. And
Yeah. I think I've become like almost like famous just because of being mentioned or seen in relationship to this podcast. People come to me, oh, you're the guy from Sonny's podcast? I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm the guy.
I'm the guy.
Yeah, I'm the guy. But yeah, people come over in like the grocery store and like most random places, and that they talk about how the podcast has helped them or how meaningful it's been for them. So
Well, I think the weirdest thing for me is that I spent this career like just being the best I possibly could, and thank God did a lot of great things in his career, and like became somebody,
and this
and
is the thing that people know you for.
did things, and then like, oh, are you a podcaster?
Yeah.
And then many people are like, you're a therapist? I'm like,
Yeah,
I have a whole world that was not podcasting.
yeah.
That
And it's a funny world, but this thing. I mean, like who knows? Like I wish there was a way to quantify like how many. I mean, there probably is. Like how many views or how many listens.
you could say, I
like-
see all the numbers.
I mean, like the overall like big picture. Like it's probably
Like
ridiculous.
how many individual people? Have
Yeah,
listened?
how many lives have been touched, moved? How many people have really been helped, or like they heard something and like really like it's made a difference, or people that have come to our village after hearing like kind of like what the work that we're doing here, or other things like we people that have started their own like men's groups and support groups, talking about that on the podcast and like the idea of community and people finding that in their own lives. So
Right. We started Mavakshim together, and I think there are 7 more Mavakshams. Besides we kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
We all need to start new Mavakshams.
We graduated.
We graduated Mavaksham. Yeah. We have to have more Mavakshams. But the idea of getting together as men's groups and women's groups, and I guess there are a couple that are co-ed. So I don't know if we call them men's groups anymore. But like support groups.
Yeah, figuring out ways to create community in life. Because, one of the things that we talk about, I don't want to say the problem with our village, but the limitation of a place like our village is that the bar for entry is that you need to fit a very, very specific criteria. And this idea of community being, the channel in which we're going to be able to access the healing could be useful for everybody on the planet. So,
yeah.
Creating ways to replicate that, which is what we were talking about earlier. Like the idea of the pod is to, put these ideas out into the world, and hopefully people are replicating it. So we see it happening in real life.
And we do see it happening. Also, I'll give a shout out to the neighbors. I had Shlomo Reichman on.
Neighbors, yeah.
But Shlomo Reichman and Simcha Hyman started the neighbors, which is so gorgeous because it has similar concepts to our village, but it's even for a larger group of people.
Right.
So, and our place obviously is similar to this idea. Like that's what, I've been doing this on a not intensive level in our place for such a long time.
Yeah.
But I think also like we happen to both land in the same shul, or Shlomo, which has very
in the whole wide world. If you have to ask my opinion,
what'd you say? Say it again.
I said it is probably the best shul in the whole wide world. I mean, at least the ones that I've been to. I guess I haven't been to that many, but
wait. So you should say it to the camera. I'll clip it out. Give it to the shul.
Our Shlomo Hasidic Center is the most special shul that exists. It happens to be that it's here in Pomona, but the light and the vibration that shines out from our Shlomo and the difference that it makes in the world is it's incredible. There's actually nothing quite like it. It's a shul that's open and welcoming and loving, and all the things that we're talking about, the ideas that are going to really bring real transformation to the world, could be found in a shul, in a community. It's also something that other people out in other communities, they want to come for Shabbos, they want to come see it. It's really, really a special, special place, and I am very, very blessed to say that I am I'm a
proud member.
Yeah, proud card carrying.
Although there's no membership.
Shlomo, right?
That's one of the most awesome things.
Great perk, but yeah.
I will tell you that I have been members of many other shuls, and with no membership in our Shlomo, I have given them significantly more money. Just every time I can donate.
They deserve it. I mean, there's the things that are going on there. I mean, the care and attention to like all the different facets of community, right? They have like the kids program, they have the teens program, which is not just about having a teen minion. It's really about like empowering youth and empowering teens to be the leaders and to be the ones that are going to like carry the message of our Shlomo out into the world. There's the really, really like dealing with communal matters like in a very special way, supporting everybody that comes to them, asking them for support in any way that they can.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty fascinating that both of us have kind of ended up in a place where we're like surrounded by like these layers of community and support. I don't know. I feel, that song. I love that song. Is that Kabach?
Yeah, wow. I didn't know that you're also musical. Wow, Sonny, you are like the gift that keeps giving.
Where's my guitar? No, so the idea that like it really feels like we're not hungry for food or water. We're really not. We're living in a weird time. People are like, oh, there's poverty. I'm like, yeah, but nobody's starving.
Yeah.
Like, really nobody's starving. I know, in America at least. In Gaza, I don't know. That's up for discussion.
Yeah.
Is this a Gaza conversation? No. All right, another time. But when I think about all the people that are like flocking to these neighborhoods, these communities, the amount of people that are like not part of our village, but like try to become part of our village, or the guys that are looking for the neighbors or looking for a Shlomo, or it really is like a thirst for connection.
Yeah.
It's like it, and I actually, and this is something that I've said a bunch of times on the podcast, but I think the reason that addiction is through the roof is because the thirst for connection. We are, as a people, everybody's like, oh, we're weak. As humankind, we're at a period of time where we are thirsting for deeper, more meaningful spiritual connection. And that, in the negative side of that is addiction. The positive
you want to
side
explain
of
that a little bit? Like,
Yeah.
Why would addiction equal like the thirst or lack of, or the looking for connection?
Addiction is the belief that something outside me is going to heal me. And I'm going to find it and try to make it and try to put it inside me. If I didn't tell you that was addiction, it would also sound like seeking God. I just started with the word addiction, but if I just started and said, I would like to seek something outside me to heal me, it sounds like I'm searching for God. Addiction is exactly that, but it's connecting yourselves to things that can't actually heal you. So addicts are not wrong.
Right.
Connection, I believe God is connection. God is love. That is what God is. But God is something greater than me, or spirituality is something greater than me that I attach myself to. And that attachment that I have to that thing will give me all the strength to be the strongest person I could ever be. That's what spirituality is. It's the misplaced belief of the addict that we could use other things to do that. I could use drugs because it gives me the feeling of connection. I could use sex because it gives me the feeling of connection. But it isn't really connecting to something real. So when you're dealing with addiction, you're just shifting from one level of chasing spirituality to another type of chasing spirituality. It's just one is fake and one is real.
Yeah.
That's the whole difference.
Yeah, I've heard you say something like addicts are the greatest seekers of spirituality. Like something like
They're the
those
most
lines.
sensitive.
Yeah.
The lack of connection is hurting them more than everybody else. So they are the most spiritual. They're highly spiritual, highly sensitive people. And the more you are, the more you're addicted. I will also say, which is that addicts, I believe addiction is a spectrum and we all have it inside us. We're all seeking that spirituality. I will also say that the more we're in touch with our inner child, the more spiritual we're going to be, because that is our spiritual center. A child feels connection, needs connection. It believes that something greater than them is going to save them. That a child has that magical thinking. As you get older, you say, I don't need. So when we think like you're acting childish when you're not being connected to God, you're actually acting like an adult. When you're not being connected to God. Being connected to God or spirituality is a childish thing. It's saying, I want to be connected and I can be connected and it's real. So it's seeing beyond what's there in front of us. And as we get older, we're like, I don't know. All I know is I work really hard and that's how I pay my tuition bills. Like, that's what it is. And a child's like, no, it's all magical.
Yeah. Fascinating.
It will be magic to pay our tuition bills, huh?
Oh, yes. Let's not go there.
We're not talking about tuition. It is a bigger topic. So now not only are you the guy who started the podcast with me and the guy who runs everything, you're a fan of the podcast. What have you gotten from the podcast?
Yeah, I am a fan of the podcast because I think that it's a huge deal to constantly be able to spread the message, and I think that, we talk about in recovery, the 12th step is about like really, taking what you've gotten out of this and really letting the world know. And something that I'm always advocating for is, we need to really, stand up and shout from the rooftops that, healing is available, it's possible, there is a method, it works. We need to do it together. We really need each other, and we really need to support each other. And I think that what we're doing is so special. And I think that the more people that know about it, we're gonna start tilting the scales in our favor. Like we really, the more we have people showing up for other people, the better this world is gonna get. Right now there's it's such a mismatch. Like the amount of people that are out there doing what we'll call the healing versus the people who need the healing, the numbers are totally not matching up. So I don't want to say I'm a little maybe impatient about how the way things are happening, and really wish and hope that we can expand in any way possible. I'm not saying bigger or more our villages, which I do think and hope and pray for one day that there is either an Our Village or a version of it in every Jewish community in the world, and then actually every community in the world should have something like what we're doing. But I know that the only way that it's possible, and even though the only way that we exist today, is because we get so much support, and there are other people that see us, that they believe in the work that we're doing, and really we're really bad at marketing. Unfortunately, it's not our strong point. Like we mentioned earlier, mission first. That's what we focus on.
We did make bumper stickers.
We did make bumper stickers, but as you pointed out, the bumper sticker says only love. So nobody really knows. No one knows what that is. I mean, no one knows that that's Our Village. But it is also another way to promote that. It's just subtle messaging in the world that's our philosophy, is this attachment-based, only love philosophy. And yeah, we need to keep talking about it until we can't talk anymore, honestly, because it's I think that it's not only a philosophy that's meant for this population. Like the more that you had Avi Fishoff on the pod and Chase Taub on the pod and so many other great guests, and every time I'm hearing it, and I hear the like how this philosophy fits into everything, right? Into the way that we relate to our spouse, our loved ones, our partners, our children, our employers, our employees, our friends. Like there's getting to hear how this method is being you hear people like Rabbi Kalish, who was on the podcast, or Rabbi Fisher, like Yoni Fisher, and you get to hear how this actually is happening in the world. There are things are changing, and maybe now it's still out there on the fringe, or with people would think that this is just for the troubled communities. No, this should be the way that we live our lives. We should just love the people around us. It sounds like it's wow, what a crazy idea. Right. I love people, but you do find places we mentioned our Shlomo, you find places where that idea is real and alive, and then you see the benefits of it in real life. When we become loving and accepting and recognize that every person has a place on this planet, every person is worthy, every person has deserves to have a place that they could call home, where they're loved and accepted just exactly the way that they are, and that they're not broken and there's nothing wrong with them. That's when people on their own will start behaving in ways that are a lot more aligned with their values. And that's how we're going to make the world a better place.
Right.
Sounds very idealistic, no?
It's super idealistic. Yeah. I love it. I will tell you that it's another job of yours, because my moods and you're the number one person who reminds me of everything I say.
Well, yeah, I do like to stick it back in your face.
Although the rest of the staff does it too.
Yeah. Listen, it's...
And once in a while I'm like, kick them all out. That's it. We're going tough love. And everybody's like, okay, Sonny.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. I get like that too sometimes. And then, I get, there's so many... I really, it's for myself, my own, feeling okay in this world, my own, that I get to feel okay is because I'm living this lifestyle. I like to tell people, what do you do for a living? I don't do anything for a living. I don't have a job. Hey, I'm just involved in a community.
You have a job.
I'm just kidding. Boss, Sonny. We don't have bosses. Okay. No, we wake up every day and we okay, what are we going to do to make the world for ourselves and everybody around us a better place?
Yeah.
That's what we do every single day. Part of that means that we have to work, we have to do fundraising and marketing and shopping and making sure there's food and, and we also have to get paid, so that we could pay for our own lives, and we have to make everything work.
Right.
But this is not about like this is a job. This is my career. We're just doing what we enjoy doing, and
we're living the mission.
We are living the mission.
But I will say, I just want to comment on what you were saying before.
Yeah.
Which is that I believe so much in this idea of all these ideas, and I think the word love is such a floaty word that people can't. I do like to say like support more and more a little bit, even though I say love a lot. But that being said, I believe that any program that's working is because they're like our program.
Yeah.
Even if they're completely opposite of our program. That's what I want to say.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, I know someone who went to a tough love program and they're doing great. They found comfort and support there.
Yeah. Or they saw whatever they were getting, the way that they related to it, as somebody really cares about me enough to be tough with me.
Like I've said this before, and people come to me and be like, so true, like what you're saying. I'm going to say it again, which is like whenever I want to base, like a guy went to rehab or a treatment program, and they say, that place was amazing. That place was amazing. If you really start asking questions, it will always come down to that place cared. Yeah. It doesn't matter about the clinical treatment. And it's like they'll say I had the best therapist in the world. He really understood. At the end of the day, yes, the therapist was great, but there are a lot of programs that have great therapists that really know what they're doing, and they're not feeling loved there. Yeah. So they just don't call it a good program. So I every single time someone's getting better, I think you could always go back to the place where they had that Shiva moment, where they were being taken care of by the community. That's that massive amount of support. Also, something we never talk about, which is the second level, that the guys actually have to work on themselves.
That's part of it?
We never talk about it.
Well, before you talk about that, I just want to say, if we have to change it from only love to only support, only and love, they're both 4 letters. It's geometric. I mean, coming from from an operation standpoint, it's not going to work, but I hear what you're saying.
Also, Only Love has a song.
Yes, that's true.
Both a secular song and a Waterbury song.
Waterbury version, yeah. Yeah.
That one, they just straight up ripped off the song. They didn't even change words.
It's a cover, They call it a cover, yeah.
Most Jewish people think that the Waterbury created that song.
I happen to like the Waterbury version better. Not everybody does.
Do you?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Has the Vegas.
It has, some Dvekas, some Chuka, and you feel like the Yiddish.
I heard Ellie Levin. I think the first time ever live, he was really.
Yeah.
He was at the wedding last night, so he really.
I played that song.
No. Only Love. Does he play that song?
No, I have no idea. Why'd you bring him up?
Because I was reminding me of like when a Jewish person takes a song and then he's like, "Oy."
Yeah.
I can never get over like Jewish music, like where people they're like getting high on the music, and
listen, music is very, very, very powerful tool,
Yeah, I actually have a funny thing where maybe I should have mentioned this after I mentioned a musician.
Right.
No, but Rabbi Shea Staub has this thing where she's like, why are rabbis yelling? To get you, they're yelling like just say what you want to say.
The fire and brimstone.
But I get it. I get the yelling. But sometimes I feel that about Jewish music. I'm like, if it's a great song, just sing it.
Yeah.
You don't have to force us to love it. It's a great song. So it's funny because I grew up like Mordechai and David, and he would just like get an extra kvetch in there, to get it going.
So I actually just saw a clip of the Lubavitcher Rebbe talking about like El Shmuzin, like in yeshivas.
Really?
Yeah, and he's talking like who told you that it has to be like this fire and brimstone speech? Like, who are you? Like telling it down.
Really?
Like, if you want to talk to people, talk nicely. Yeah, it was a great clip. Very, very powerful.
Yeah. I also was never inspired by fire and brimstone.
Yeah,
at any point.
Yeah, well, that makes for good comedy,
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to like Litvish yeshivas? Like, like a real Musser schmooze?
I went to all the yeshivas.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
I went through them.
Yeah.
I went through all the yeshivas, and I never got yeshivas.
Well, it's not too late, Sonny.
It never happened.
You could still try.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. No, you're not buying it. Maybe not.
I actually now I got myself thinking like, what does inspire me?
Hey, Sonny. So tell us, what inspires you, Sonny Perlman?
Yeah, it's L. What inspires me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think what inspires me is a much more like when I watch someone change, like actually make a shift. And this is gonna sound a little negative, but I don't think people change much.
Well, like rapidly, you mean?
No,
or
even
in
much.
general. Okay.
I think that most change, like I think the Gemara says like to change a midah is like to move the world or like whatever it is, something massive. And I think that we are pretty much born the way we are, and very young. You could know the person, and we have little choices to like what we were talking about before with addiction or connection. We have choices to shift in one direction or another. So what you'll see is something will change. Somebody's marriage will get better. It's not because they changed as a person necessarily. Maybe ultimately it is, but they made a choice that I am going to choose to love this person. I'm going to choose to put in the work that it takes to do that. But your personality is the same. You're getting angry about the same stuff. You're getting frustrated about the same stuff. You're getting excited about the same stuff. I think what inspires me, and this is a very, like, I don't know if it's ever a speech, but when I meet somebody and I'm like, this guy has been consistently making a choice of going toward his lighter side, and it's drastically changed his life. Like I don't know, I meet people and I see them change, and I'm like, I'm just completely floored. I'm like, this is incredible. And even with me, like I don't think I've changed much. Like I say I work on myself. Everything in my life is just a small shift that over time looks impressive. But it's just these like small nudging shifts. But when I watch somebody who, despite all odds, just decided to make those choices. So I'm dealing with addicts all day. So I'm seeing people make those choices. And they are like all the healing we do. We talk about ayahuasca, and we talk about, we try not to talk about ayahuasca too much because we get in trouble.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
What is that?
What is ayahuasca? So, no, but we talk about all these things. At the end of it all, we could open doorways. You end up right back making those decisions again. And to watch somebody consistently make those little shifting decisions is like, it's just absolutely awe-inspiring to me. Like, that's what does it for me.
So let me ask you another question. So I mean, when you talk about like community being the like the avenue or the that which facilitates people giving themselves an opportunity to make those choices. So where does the shift happen? In other words, like you talk a lot about, there's working on core beliefs. So you want to talk a little bit about where the change happens?
Okay, I'll just talk about on like a very, maybe it'll get deeper, but like on a kind of
let me just to flesh out the question. You're saying people don't really change, but what we see, the results we see are drastic.
Drastic.
Yeah. So what actually is changing?
So, like that whole awesome story about like we have a bad wolf in us and a good wolf in us, and like which one, which way do you go? The one you feed.
Okay.
You ever heard that before?
Yeah.
It's an old Native American thing. So, are you feeding the good wolf?
Us youth, and we have a version of that too. I don't know.
What's ours?
Like this thing they call the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov.
And you feed them.
Yeah, it's El. We could talking about where we're the Bavchers talk about the Nefesh Bahamas, the Nefesh Elokus. You know,
All right, but okay, so fine.
the big bad wolf.
The big bad wolf.
Yeah.
Or my life, I have the big good wolf. Okay, so that's the point.
Yeah.
The point is the big good wolf. When I went to some IFS therapy, and I realized that I have this wolf in me. That's the big good wolf. It's always protecting the baby. So it's like it'll attack you if you try to mess with my baby. That's maybe a longer conversation, but I realized that you thought it was the big bad wolf, and really it was the big good wolf. The idea, what I'm saying is that when we feel in danger, we go to protecting ourselves. And when we're protecting ourselves, we're almost always feeding the bad wolf. So when we don't think that I have the freedom to move forward, if I don't, so let's say we don't have community and someone does something to you. So you say, how do I treat this? Should I treat this person nice? I'll take a marriage example, right? You have someone's married and their spouse attacks them about something. Immediately you feel in danger and you're like, I need to protect myself. And the second you need to protect yourself, something nasty is going to come out. So it's going to be, even if it's neglect, even if it's a silent treatment, even if it's like acting angry or whatever it is, it's because we're protecting ourselves. The reason why community is super, super important is that it makes you feel safe. So if I feel safe in my marriage, I do not have to attack my wife when she says something not nice to me, or says something that scares me, or says something that makes me feel like I should be. It's about the safety that I could say, wow, the person who's attacking me is hurt. Something is bothering them. I could be compassionate. I could be kind. It gives us the strength to choose which wolf we feed. So it's not that we don't know the choice. It's just that if I don't feel safe enough, I'm always going to lean towards the one that protects me. And whatever protects you is usually to the negative side. So with addiction, what protects me is that I could immediately grab something and stick it in me instead of saying, oh, go outside myself and help other people, connect to God, connect to people. Like that seems really terrifying to someone who's scared. But if you're surrounded by people that are like filling you and holding you, then you're not living in this fear, and then you can move forward. So I don't even know if I ever expressed it that way, but I'm saying that's...
Yeah. So it's fair to say that, like, when I'm triggered or I'm acting out, that I'm not feeling safe, I don't feel secure, I'm in fight or flight. This is like a trauma response.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a trauma response, but I feel like the word trauma is overused, and I try not to use it much. But because
it was a different word.
I'm saying I don't feel safe. Okay, it could be because when I grew up,
right,
that's why I don't feel safe. But if we just took out for everybody, because everybody's like, oh, what trauma did I go through? And like people start arguing about what trauma. But the deal is that when your wife comes at you and says something, this is not specific to wives, we're just two men.
Yeah.
But where your wife comes at you and says something that is really challenging your manhood, challenging everything, just challenging you. And you immediately go, this is not a safe place. I need to protect myself. If you did that and felt safe while your wife is attacking you, you could say,
take it.
It's not just take it.
You'd be able to acknowledge where it's coming from,
right?
And that she's hurting.
And you'd go outside yourself, and in a sense, you'd wrap them with a hug. Tell me more about what's hurting you with me. Like I want to do. We do it with the guys all the time. Like you said before, when a guy's not doing well, we question ourselves. Like what are we doing for them?
Yeah.
So with the guys, we feel less threatened, but with people, our peers or our spouses or people above us, we feel very threatened. So we're always responding in ways that are not healthy. But also with the work we're doing, it's constantly, we feel threatened. We're like, whoa, and we want to attack back. And I think a lot of programs and yeshivas and all these things have to recognize that they are also reacting and sometimes feeding the bad wolf. Like sometimes you've been attacked. Sometimes a guy was chutzpahdik to you and you decided he needs to be kicked out of school. Like it might be that. But it really is, it's Yetzer Hara, Yetzer Tov is a really, I was studying this thing called not smart, rational recovery.
Yes.
You know about rational recovery?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So we don't study rational recovery because it's very anti the 12 steps. But it's pretty funny because he's so anti 12 steps that he has the small book. You know about this? I told you about this? So Jack Trimpey, I think. Anyway, it's a small book. But one of the things that I learned from his teachings is, even though it disagrees with the 12 steps, and so I try to listen to everybody, is that he explained that we have a voice that's the addictive voice that's talking to us and telling us to do things. That addictive voice is from a primal place. It doesn't care about consequences. It doesn't care about anything. It's just, what could I do to protect me now? He calls it reptilian. So one of the things he does in his recovery program is that he has 2 lines. You write down all the things you want in life, and then on the other side, you write addiction. Because what happens is that if you look at your addiction and you look at everything else you want in life, they don't match. With addiction, I'm not going to have a family. I'm not going to have a car. I'm not going to have a house. I'm not going to have all the things I want. Nothing I have. It's like just a pile of dung on one side. And the other side is going to be all the things you want. How does addiction win? That's what he's saying. With rational recovery, how is it possible that addiction wins? The answer to that, what he says is, the answer is that addiction has one argument. I need to feel better now. That's the argument. It doesn't think about consequences, doesn't think about anything. And then the other side is, okay, how could I pick all these things that I want? What he doesn't mention is that, I'm going to get into a second, but what he doesn't mention is that it's all fear. That's all based on fear. So all of our decisions are based on fear, and we're running away from that. That is our core belief, is that we're in danger. So we pick that. And then we don't pick all the other stuff. There's nothing rational to it. So his idea is just shift over to the rational and you'll get better. The beauty of it is that he took these thoughts that we have inside us and he made them as outside Yetzer Hara, Yetzer Tov. Because I used to always think it's such a ridiculous thing. There's an actual character that's a bad guy and an actual character that's a good guy, and they're fighting us. And I'm like, it's me. But I think the beauty of it, and this is before I studied meditation and stuff and understood that I was the passive observer and all that stuff, but the beauty of it is that if it's me, I can't change it. It has to be outside me. So I just think it's brilliant that the Yetzer Hara and Yetzer Tov are outside characters so that we could actually have conversations with them and make these choices. So that's what it is, these choices. Can I just tell you one thing with rational recovery?
Yeah, please.
I'm just rattling on.
Yeah.
You got me going. This is how we have conversations, me and Ellie.
This is what most of them look like, yeah. We've said in the past, if we wanted to start another pod of just us talking, we just have people follow us around with cameras.
It would be a lot of fun. It'd be more like a reality show. Yeah. But here's the cool thing with rational recovery is that if you could try it, guys, you could try this at home. If you want to know what the addictive voice sounds like, there's an easy trick. The trick is you could say the thing you're addicted to. You say, I will never drink again. Whatever you're addicted to. I will never do drugs again. I will never gamble again. You say that line, and then you just listen to your brain, and you can start writing it down. You say, I never drink again. Immediately be like, yeah, but then never again. I can't make it to never again. Okay, that's addictive voice. And then you'll say, it doesn't matter what it is, it will immediately give you a list of 10, 20 things. It'll say, I'm going to be boring. What if I have a hard day? It helps you go to sleep. And the crazy thing about it, there's nothing rational about it. All the things I want in life don't include drinking. But somehow I have 50 arguments about why I should drink. So if you ever wanted to hear the addictive voice, you just say that line. It's a pretty cool trick.
Yeah, all right. Now go into the comments. Tell us what your brain is telling you right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah. I will say that people are very nice in my comments.
Yes.
I don't get too much negative feedback.
Mostly, yes.
Part of it upsets me.
that you don't get negative feedback.
I'm not pissing off anybody.
Like, fight me.
Once in a while, whenever I hear someone's got an issue with me, it's always like through a guy. No one ever tells me.
Right.
Like someone tells me that, oh, by the way, this guy's trashing on you. And I'm like, why don't they just tell me? Or write a bad comment.
Yeah, I mean, because it's probably just a reflection of themselves. Like anyone that like actually meets you in real life and talks to you, they'll have a very hard time arguing with you. I mean, the guys argue with you. Guys at the house.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
With the philosophy.
You're wrong, Sonny. You're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about.
How do you think I deal with that? Yeah, deal with it all right?
Yeah. You know, I think that you know, it's really what's actually being said is it might be right for everybody else. It's not going to work for me because I'm somehow uniquely different, and you can't help me. You and your dumb only love philosophy is not going to work on me.
Right.
You know, it's just another way to push back or another way to like, you know, test. You know, guys are big into testing. They want to, let's see how much you really love me.
Sometimes when a guy's like really arguing with me, I know it's completely patronizing, but my brain goes to like, I just want to kind of like pull the head against my chest and go, shh, it'll be all right. Shh, I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
sometimes
it would probably.
I probably could do that, right?
Also, it would work. It would accomplish what you're trying to accomplish.
I do a lot of the hugs, just like,
yeah. Big huggers at our village, you know.
yeah.
I wonder how many other people could say that. Listen, the first thing that happens to me every single day when I walk into work every single day is I get a hug from Sonny Perlman every single day, no matter what. Even if I'm sick, I say, "No, Sonny, I'm sick." Doesn't matter. I still get one. Then the hugging. You're a big hugger.
I also heard this line once that said that sharing flus and colds is also sharing.
Right. That is true. That is very true. Yeah.
If you got to get all sick together, you got to get all sick together.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of inevitable. You know, we work in a house where, you know, people are living together, and also there's tons of traffic throughout the day. People are not, there's a nonstop flow of traffic at the house, not only people that live there, but people that have lived there, and which is one of the best parts, you know, parking lot's always full.
Yeah, it's amazing when you come in sometimes at night, you know, like you come to the later meetings or whatever.
Yeah.
And I always want to make videos of it, like for Instagram, but I don't really know how to like say it. I don't, but it's like there's 9 people in the house right now officially.
Yeah.
And there's 40 cars.
Yeah.
It's like
incredible.
Everybody's coming back, loving on each other. It's so cool. I even got into football. That, if you want to really know how much the love in our village exists, is that one of the guys in our village loved the Eagles. Took me a second to remember the team I go for. And last year I took on, what a great year to do it.
Yeah.
I took on the Eagles, and I studied it.
Because it doesn't sound all too altruistic, you know, when you pick the winning team.
Right.
Like, okay.
But I will say it was the beginning of the season, so I didn't know, but no one believes me.
Yeah.
No one believes me. I'll also say, and I hope he doesn't listen to this, I don't even know the name of the quarterback. I know nothing.
That's true.
But I will die for the Eagles.
Matter.
Go Birds. That's it. Me and this guy, we are, not let's say his name, because he's been in the house.
Yeah.
But shout out to you. Go Birds. Anyway, I do find it interesting that like with baseball, it seems like everybody goes for like a New York team, but like in football, it seems like people go for teams from other places.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking the wrong guy. I know.
Okay.
I'm not
You don't know
You can bring my
anything.
kids. They'll talk to you about sports. I'm not I don't love anyone enough to start following football either.
It took a lot of years, bro.
I won't do it. I mean, I throw a mean Super Bowl party, but
You do.
know,
I love it that you keep it for the next year, all the gear, just in case that same team.
Well, it's me being mindful about the spending, we've amassed quite a yeah. So one of the parts, the unique things that I find in my job is that I am supposed to take very, very little money and stretch it out to do a lot of things with it. So, one of the ways that we do that is by, we go buy things, we put them away, put them into storage, use them again. So yeah, one of those things is, happens to be that, we bought big flags for the walls for the 49ers and the Eagles and, and we save it from year to year. You
Just
never
in
know.
case they get in.
You never know.
Eventually, we'll have every
Yeah.
single team, and we'll never have to pay
listen,
for
we
things.
got lucky. Right? The 49ers, right?
I don't know.
We're in the Super Bowl twice in a row. The Eagles were,
We're getting lucky.
we saved like a good $7-8,
Well, I think what people also don't know is because we're set up like a sober living, so it's like a sober living. So you offer, at best you offer some meals.
Yeah.
The fact that we're taking, I'm gonna give a little plug for this because it's costing us about $20,000. I'm just gonna say it. We're going to this Rosh Hashanah Shabbaton for recovery.
The retreat.
I don't think there's a sober living out there. The idea of our sober living is to provide whatever it takes to help people get to the next stage.
Yeah.
So again, it's what we started talking about. It's if we have a vision to do something, we're gonna do it. Super Bowl party is not a regular Super Bowl party. It's got to be
Nothing is.
It's got to
regular
be
at the Village.
everybody wants to show up for the Super Bowl party.
Yeah. Well, I mean the one of the biggest challenges of creating a supportive environment for people who have core belief systems that they don't feel loved or supported is by doing things such as these events and creating opportunities where it feels so nice and so special and so bakavadik, like this is being done for you because you deserve to have an amazing, incredible life. So that's that goes into every detail of everything that we're doing. So it's like the size of the beds that are in the house. We don't have twin size beds. The step-up houses have queen beds, and all the food and the quality of the food and the amounts, and things should always be shafa. Things should always feel nice. They should look nice. The houses should be nice. It should be comfortable. The food should be right now we were just transitioning to a new chef, and the interview process is the food is not about the food, it's about the mission. So if the food always comes on time, then it creates a certain sense of safety. If there's always enough food for everybody that comes, no matter what time you come, no matter what time you show up, that is always there, and there's always a variety, and it should be colorful and plentiful and tasty and fresh. Those are all, there's subtle messaging that's happening through the food that you matter. We care about you. We care enough about you to make sure no matter what, you're looked after. So it's that all of those ideas have to go into everything that we do here, even things that seem like that's not directly related to the mission, but really everything that we do has to have that spin to it.
No, it's interesting because in the recovery world, people don't realize it's they call this spoiled.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. And they're missing some very important piece. I actually learned this from Nasi Monk. I've told you this several times, but Nasi Monk, his thing was every one of these guys has to feel, and girls now, has to feel like royalty.
Yeah.
They have to know that they are like royalty, that they are, and it's not because they're spoiled, it's because somebody really is thinking about them.
Yeah. Well, the right word is supported, like you said before.
Yeah.
Everyone should feel supported.
So that one actually changed me because I was like, okay, so you have a bed and you have this. It didn't really occur to me how important that was until Nasi's insisted on it.
Yeah.
His wife came in and made these the blankets were just so yummy. Everything was just so yummy, and I saw it immediately affect people. I'm really being taken care of. I will say they also get a little entitled, but at the same time, it happens.
Yeah.
But I think after a while, they start getting what's happening.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, they're just like,
Yeah. Yeah. And the truth is, I think that it's not such a like overall big expense for us to do things to operate this way, but it's more of just it's our mentality and about being very, very intentional about everything that we do. So like if we're intentional that every step we take should be aligned with the values of the mission to be supportive, then you could tell, you could actually you could sense the difference. Like, we could, sukkahs is coming, we're gonna put up a sukkah. We could just put up a sukkah and, be yotza by having, the basic sukkah, but we're gonna spend the time and the energy and the effort and the money to make sure that no, the sukkah should be beautiful. It should be gorgeous sukkah.
I love the decorations.
Yeah, decorations are very, very
Tell everybody
special.
what the decorate.
Yeah, so we started. I mean, this is our fifth sukkah coming up, and every year we create we take pictures from like the whole year, and just create these collages of and create these big posters of like things, people, guys that have been part of the program, and like all the years of all the awesomeness and all the awesome stuff that have happened.
So they're like big laminated collages.
Yeah, really
It's
special.
definitely one of the most special. And you guys gave me
Oh yes.
a beautiful, we're going to have to update it, but a beautiful poster last year, which I think broke HIPAA. Because all my guests are like, who are those people? I'm like, I don't know. Rabbis. No. Of all the wedding pictures of the guys that got married that year. And I really liked it.
Yeah, I think that a sukkah is there's a mandate to make the sukkah beautiful, and like what's more beautiful than like to have the nachas of like the work that you've put in, like that maybe there were 7 or 8 couples on that poster.
Yeah,
like that all those people, like the real likeliness that they would have gotten to where they came from when they came to our village, that they went to getting married and like now starting families of their own, like, then the fact that we got to play such a big role in that, and that there's all these people like starting families, and now maybe this year we'll have pictures of the babies added to it,
that's right. We got some babies coming.
Yeah, so it is a real special thing.
Yeah, I think also there's something that like we don't talk about enough because it's a little like this is weirdly taboo in the recovery world. Because one of the things that the big statement in the recovery world is like, think about their recovery now, and then we'll worry about their connection to Judaism and their family later. Not only do I think that statement is wrong, and I'm not. Obviously, your mental health is more important than everything, and you can't really do anything without your mental health. So there's some of that statement I agree with, but I don't see a reason to not take, especially because of religious trauma, to not take the religion that we have and add it to their recovery, right, to add flavor and
use
beauty.
It to our advantage
and
also.
Yeah, we're talking about community. I mean, how you be community. Our Sukkot is amazing. Our Rosh Hashanah is amazing. Our Yom Kippur is amazing. Shavuos is wildly awesome. Yeah. Every Shabbos is beautiful. But the other thing is that how do you heal from your religious trauma if you don't do it the right way? You don't get to see it. I remember when I was a kid, and I just thought there was a point in my life where there was one of my friends' parents was still married. Everyone, all my friends' parents were divorced, and it was the group I went in, and we had one friend. We used to make fun of him, actually. Well, your parents are married, and he's like, I promise they hate each other. They don't even sleep in the same room. So we let him be friends with us. But I remember when I went and I saw actually Chev, who now works for me, got married to her first husband, Gabriel Klatsko, and I saw a good marriage. It was the first time in my life I saw a good marriage. The amount of healing that I went through just watching, observing. I was a 13-year-old kid, observing two people just caring and loving each other and excited to be in each other's company and starting to build a family together. The healing was so powerful. And yeah, you could have told me about it in a book and I could have read about it and it wouldn't do anything. when you have a guy from our village who's like, Yiddishkeit has been destroyed. The people who were supposed to be loving him chose Judaism, quote unquote Judaism and God over them. There's like massive trauma there. If they never get to see how this beautiful thing happens,
Yeah.
how are they ever going to heal from that?
Yeah.
And I see a lot from other treatment programs that there's a lot of like, I'm healed with my, like recovery wise, but Yiddishkeit and connecting back to my family and all that stuff that's so important, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we do it in we really, really do it in a very special way. And it's like offered as a choice, but we always say we are an unapologetically from program. People are shocked when I won't buy things that are chalstam. That, by the way, that's totally a Sonny thing. But it's we're it's just the way we're gonna do it.
This is our pet peeve.
Yeah, we do. We celebrate every single holiday, every fast day, we do it all. Now, everybody obviously could participate at the level that feels most right for them. But you walk into the house Friday afternoon and it smells like chicken soup, and there's fresh challah every single week. By the way, shout out to the Elbaums.
Oh my gosh.
The Elbaums have been making us, Nachi and his wife have been making us fresh challah every single week since we opened the program. Obviously, they're taking breaks here and there, or they go away for the summer.
Tiny breaks.
Yeah, but we've fresh every single week. We have fresh challah in the house, and it smells like chicken soup, and there's cholent working, and it smells like it smells like a Jewish home. And there's mirrors happening Friday night, and lots of really incredible, amazing things. And we do put a lot of intention and time and effort into making all these components really available, enjoyable, and that people want to participate. Guys, they don't keep Shabbos, but we might find guys like in Ar Shlomo Shabbos morning,
right?
Which is because we're there, and Ar Shlomo is just another example of another place where Yiddishkeit is really accessible and enjoyable, and it's without pressure. So we'll do. I mean, this is actually our busiest season, because we have Rosh Hashanah coming up. We'll do kaparas with chickens at the house.
Right.
It's I didn't grow up with chickens for kaparas. Thank God, I don't love it, but we'll bring it to the house. We'll buy everybody a lulav and asterisk. It'll be a beautiful sukkah. We'll go on
Wait, shout out Ellie Verschleiser, who donates all wolves and asterisks. I'm giving shout outs hardcore today. Yeah. Every year,
yes.
Every guy gets dalamino if they want it.
Thank you, Ellie.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
And I will say that I don't know of any guys that went through that leave with a bad feeling towards Judaism.
Yeah, they might not be religious, but we're definitely not adding to their religious trauma while being here.
And it's something that is ignored.
Can we shout out the Shabbos movies?
Okay, yes.
Talk about Shabbos movies.
Explain what Shabbos movies is.
Yeah, so we have a rule that
There's only one rule.
There's
only one religious rule in our village.
Religious rule in our village is that you cannot watch TV in the main areas on Shabbos.
So that it's respectful to anybody who would like to keep.
Yeah, people who want to keep should be able to feel comfortable. Though you could go to your room, or you could go to one of the quieter places in the house and do that if you choose. So yeah, the guys came up with the song Shabbos movies, Shabbos movies. So it's as some people might hear this and start crying.
Yeah, they might start crying. So
the kfira,
some guys will sneak off to another area and watch Shabbos movies.
Yeah, but the reality is that the spirit of Shabbos is being felt, even if they're not up to the place where they're able to fully comply with all the halachic rulings of Shabbos. But the energy of Shabbos is alive in the house. It's alive and well, and and with time, people are leaning more into that, or not. Whatever's works.
I also
works
think
for
it's
them.
so. I think the fact that people are not the religious trauma is being addressed, and they actually being able to see a more beautiful thing. They're able to reconnect to their families better.
Yeah,
which I am a huge proponent of. And a lot of times we do like this family therapy and it's really helpful, but to really be like able to go home and be able to handle Shabbos at home, be able to handle the triggers of like family being like that, realizing that maybe it's the family that's an issue and not necessarily the Judaism. They're able to forgive a little bit and be stronger about it. It's just so important. It's like such an important thing. It's so fun to like talk about all these little things about our village. I mean, I don't get to talk about so much because most of my guests don't even know what our village is. Right. Like, so it's like, it's kind of, it's fun.
There's also a very wide spectrum of guys. Like right now in the house, you have like, full-fledged Hasidim wearing the full-fledged Hasidic
the
lavush, and like could barely speak English. And then you have people coming from like very secular homes, and the mix, and like that they could sit at the Shabbos table together, or it's very heartwarming for me. I love watching that. I love watching how everybody could just fit in their own way and be comfortable. It's very special.
I also like that we have a lot of musicians.
Yes, we are going through definitely a very musical stage, and it's amazing.
It's so nice to have all the music. Yeah. I always said that addicts are much more musical, and I think that the reason is, again, because they're more in touch with their inner child.
Yeah. That's
the creative side, that's the musical side, that's the artist side. So you always have more creative people that fit into this. So we even have like a band.
We do. We have the Our Village Band, which we have a couple of guitarists, we have percussions, we have a bass, we have a keyboard, we're making some serious moves. And also we put this in the new lounge. We didn't talk about the new lounge. Maybe we should give a shout out to the lounge.
Okay, give a shout out.
In the lounge, we just built. We had just a garage that we're using for storage, and it was a total mess. But it had some couches in there, and it was kind of a place for people to hang out and maybe smoke cigarettes or cigars in there, or hookah. And we just converted it into this gorgeous space. Like we emptied it out completely and just renovated it. And we were able to do that.
Again, Chaiki.
Yeah, again, Chaiki did a beautiful job over there. Like it added like a ton of square footage to like more livable square foot space in the house, a place for guys to come and connect. And like, I mean, we were just in there last night. There's just like 9 people in there. One guy's playing guitar, people are schmoozing. It was like after work, people are hanging out. A really, really special place. And one of the things we put in there was we put like this like little music corner, like, a couple guitars in there and some percussion, some drums and things like that. And you always just see people just coming in, picking up an instrument, playing it. Really, really special. And we got to do this project like in honor of somebody who was very close to the village that we really care about, who unfortunately lost his life to this disease. So it was a very, very special project to be involved in, and just very aligned with everything else that we do.
As I think the thing about our village in general is that you, like, no matter where you go, there's these little pockets, conversations going on that are just so loving.
Yeah,
they're absolutely loving. It's I know for myself, like in my own house, like my favorite thing is like to sit around the Shabbos table with all my kids. Our village kind of has that vibe all the time.
Yeah,
it's just always a different conversation going on.
Yeah,
it sounded like a big advertisement, but I feel like I haven't really got to like flush out our village and a lot of things.
Yeah, well, it should be an advertisement. Everybody should know.
Right.
Our village is incredible, and we're doing amazing, incredible things. We're not perfect, but we're here. We're out to really, really make a real difference. And if that sounds like an advertisement, so
are there things that have shocked you? Okay, so this is like your 5 years? How many years in are you?
4.5.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I'll say our village opened in 2019. Rio, and then we had like a little. Not closed down, but like it got quiet. The COVID era, which made us go into skeleton mode. It was very quiet. Then I brought in Ellie, and then it exploded back out. So that was 4.5 years ago?
Yeah.
Holy cow. What would you say your biggest surprises are in like
That's a good
in
question.
the program?
Well, I first I'll say personally is like I was talking about this earlier, but like how little this feels like work to me. You know, like I really like I haven't like I mean obviously there are parts of my job that I don't love. You know, most of that has to do with like the financial parts of it, but how much of just like I personally have gained from being here and from being a part of and being in this community. That's probably been the best part. What's shocking? I mean, the growth has been pretty explosive. You know, we started with when I got there, there was basically nobody living there, and today we have 6 houses. We have 55 beds in total, like between the men, the women, and the step-up houses. Everything looks different. I mean, and even the actual physical building, everything looks different. Like we've redone everything. The amount of time we've been here, and maybe the like just the growth of the community, like how many people have gotten involved, how many people have gone through the program, how many outside people have gotten involved, how many people we've gotten to know, like through the work that we're doing, the interest from people that are outside that don't necessarily live at the village, but
That one really got me
that love us and care about us, and like the neighbors, like the what we mentioned earlier, like the whole program spurred off of like what we're doing here. And really, I think that it's fair to say that the recovery community of of Rockland County is largely due to the work that we're doing. Like you go into any meeting, you'll find guys from the village. Like you need something from somebody at any recovery based event that's happening in this whole area. Like we have our hand in it in some way. So
I think people really don't know because it's funny because somebody said to me the other day, like, yeah, no, because certain areas are starting out with the programs because you don't have a lot of recovery. It's not like Muncie, like one of these really big recovery communities.
Right.
And I was like, there was nothing
Right.
in Muncie before this.
Yeah.
It just, I mean, the living room was here because when I started Arena, we started the living room, but it was tiny little community, and then now it's like beyond exploded.
Yeah.
Like beyond. Really my biggest thing was, and this is why I didn't start. People are like, why don't you start in Florida, California, places where like all the rehabs are. My big thing was that the Northeast has the most amount of Jews, and there's no real significant recovery communities in the Northeast. I know Lakewood's maybe doing some stuff now, but I'm saying but there was nothing, and people were coming back and falling on their face. The living room had something, but nowhere for people to live and really, really transition. So the fact that people are referring to it like, oh my God, that's a serious recovery community, and to think like, wow, we did that.
Yeah.
We're part of this like wild revolution. Now I want to have this grow everywhere. I will say that. We've mentioned it a million times.
Yeah, it just doesn't necessarily have to be with us. It please God, it will be. But it just the more recovery is, the more recovery there is. The more places that people have, to be able to come and feel safe and to really connect in meaningful ways, and to be able to get access to the healing. Like it's.
All right. So now, how much time did we go? Not that bad. Okay.
Getting bored?
No, I just wondering if we had more time.
Time. Yeah. When will I ever talk to you again, Sonny?
Oh, it's going to be rough.
You got to get it all out.
I will tell you that I am loving my new studio.
You know what? You deserve to have a wonderful studio. And
I really like it.
I think you should enjoy it. And I hope all your future guests come here and they enjoy it. And this is an ode to to the great work that you're doing here.
Oh, that's nice. Behind you, that wall is very popular in the podcast studios.
Yeah.
It's because it's a sound dampener also.
Yeah, those are acoustic panels that are supposed to absorb the sounds.
So cool.
So that's why you would see that. Yeah, Heike did a lot of research to find out.
I want to tell you
panels
something
are
about Heike going out, like trying to find out all the details about things that I love. It was really special. And it's a great designer to do that.
Yeah, that is, I think that, I mean, Heike could probably talk more about this, but when you're creating something for somebody, like personalizing it to have, the things that they love, like, it's interesting because you hire a designer to do a job for you. And you're basically saying, what are the things that the designer loves are the things that are going to show up in the design, and the thing that's, appealing to them. But yeah, what makes Heike's work unique is that she really is able to tap into, like, the vision of like what are you looking for, like what speaks to you, what like really will help bring out your own personality. It's fun. I'm actually noticing that your shirt matches the color of the wall right now.
I love green.
Yeah, I don't know if that's intentional, but you blend right in. Yeah, that's right.
This is Sani, guys. It's not spelled the same as me,
but it's pronounced the same.
But it's just pronounced Sani. I will say the story really quickly. On TikTok, if you look up Sani the alligator, this is very important. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong camera. If you look up Sani the alligator, you will find there's a TikTok. This guy in Montana, I'm forgetting his name now. Anyway, he has an alligator, a legit alligator, 600-pound alligator, is named Sani. Oh, shoot. Okay. It's not going back up. Anyway, I went and bought the merch. Guys, this is the first stuffed animal I've ever bought for myself in my life. So he has the merch for Sani the alligator. I never heard of another Sani. I mean, I've heard of some other Sanis, but never a Sani the alligator. So, and it's pronounced Sani, which is awesome.
Love that.
Although I did find out that in India, in Hindu, I think, the Sani means love.
No way.
Yeah. Can we look that up?
Town.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, we should look that up.
Hold on.
What's funny if you're completely wrong and it means something terrible.
Okay. That's not nice. Hold on. How do you say love in Hindu? Is that how you say the language? Yeah, I think so. Oh, see, I'm saying it wrong. Sanskrit is what I wanted to say. Can you just say what it means? All right. Well, there's a lot of other ways to say love. Wait a second. How do you say beloved? One second. We're finding out. We need better reception here.
Yeah. Jamie, could you look this up?
Jamie. This is why you need Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I lost reception.
I used to be the Jamie here.
Used to be Jamie, and now I have no Jamie.
And I got let go because I was doing a terrible job. You remember that time that I fell asleep while we were in the middle of...
Oh my God. I wish we could remember which one. Okay, Ellie was being a producer.
Yeah.
And he fell asleep during
one
the
of
podcast.
the jobs used to be, before we automated it, was to switch the cameras from the different views, So I had to really be like following along so that like when the next person would start talking, I'd switch the camera. And there was this one episode that your guest must have been really boring. And I just straight up fell asleep, and I woke up and the camera's facing someone, the wrong person. Like he's not talking, you just see a guy sitting there listening. And I had to.
You passed out.
Yeah, I passed
you were tired.
I must have been. Yeah.
All right. What does the word Sani mean in Sanskrit? We'll try that because it could be there's another. Oh my God. I'm sorry. You don't even know yet. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. It could be it was like Sanya or something. I'm not gonna find it. If you know Sanskrit and you know if there's any
Well,
connection.
now you gotta tell us what that means. 'Cause
Sani literally means the slow one.
that's very funny.
That is amazing. All right. From the root sana, slow, gradually. It's the name for planet Saturn. Also, 1 second. Also, Sani is often considered a strict but fair teacher.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this is terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's got to be something else. Sorry, guys.
No, don't be sorry.
This is why you should never quote anything.
Yeah.
It's probably
alive.
wrong.
Yeah. No, but that was great. That was great. Slow one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I am a slow one.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being slow.
I walk very slow on Shabbos.
That's true. You take a lot of pride in that. Remember we used to walk to shul together? The walk that should have taken half hour.
Why did it take? Okay, tell the audience why it take.
Well, this was when we just moved here. My son Akiva was he's 8 now, so he was 4.
Yeah.
3.5, 4.
Greatest imagination of anybody alive.
Yeah, and it's a far walk. It's like 2 miles, right?
It's like a mile and a mile and a half.
So yeah, we would walk to shul, up the hills, down the hills, and Akiva would just stop and look at everything, and play out different scenes from his imagination. And I learned a lot about being a very patient father from those walks with Akiva.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would just go with the flow.
We were getting in touch with the slow one.
Yeah. No, we had a good time. We had a really good time.
I don't know. Sometimes you're like, I remember I used to get a little frustrated, and I was like, don't do it for me.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy a kid taking an hour to get to shul.
Yeah.
It was very enjoyable for me because he would come up with these, he's a wizard, and all of a sudden he's like doing spells on us. It was like a whole activity. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Those walks were awesome.
Yeah, and it was also cool that he's been coming to shul like ever since. Like he comes almost every week. Comes to me to shul. He loves it.
Yeah.
I really wonder what it would have been like growing up in a shul like our Shlomo.
Well, my kids didn't.
Yeah.
They don't love coming to shul.
And that's okay.
It makes me sad. I go to shul myself a lot.
You used to go. I mean, you could come with Chalva Friday nights.
Shava loves coming to shul.
Yeah. That's, Friday nights at our Shlomo is also very special.
Yeah, Shava loves coming to shul. Of all my kids, Shava. Yeah, everybody likes their own version of shul, but it's too much.
Yeah.
But I think it's because they grew up with another shul, which was not that exciting.
Right. But Tzvi, my son Tzvi, he goes to the teen meeting. I mean, he goes to shul before me every week.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
He actually told me this week. Came upstairs. Where's my father? I'm like, what? You didn't come? No, I come before him.
Yeah.
I was trying to back you up,
Yeah.
Maybe he's in the bathroom.
Yeah, no, I have a tendency to come a little late, but that's another thing. There's no rush.
There's no rush.
If you don't come right when they start, there's no judgment.
I want to tell you something. This is what I think. This is how you can judge if a shul is awesome. This is the secret. It's not really the secret. It's just another stupid thing I'm saying, but I'm just making it very dramatic. The secret to a great shul is if you walk in and they're at Ravi and you're just putting on your talis, if they give you aliyah right then and there while you're putting your talis on, you're in a loving place.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's a test. They're like, look who just came. Get an aliyah.
That's funny.
That's how you judge. Yeah, that's how you judge. There are other things to judge. I will say something funny. We have in our Shlomo a poolish, I don't know if everybody knows what a poolish is.
Probably not. I did not know what
A
was,
poolish
so
is some Hasidic word for like a chill room.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
for where we hang out.
Yeah.
So the idea in the shul is like it's there as community center kind of and a shul also. So if you want to be davening, you should be davening and try to be respectful in the shul. And then the announcement they always say is like, go talk in the poolish. You could go to the poolish. Now the poolish is almost the size of the shul. It's like really big and it's getting bigger. And it's this chill place, and it's usually something to eat and drink or whatever. And like you could go to the poolish and hang out. So the line is, don't, go talk in the poolish. The other day, somebody came into the poolish. I don't know if you were there. You were there? No. Anyway, okay, so you don't know the story. So the guy came into the poolish, and he wanted to tell everybody that it's Musaf. So he started davening Musaf out loud to let us know. And I'm like, I yell at him, no davening in the poolish. Take the davening back into shul.
Yeah, that's funny.
We don't daven here.
Yeah, no talking in the shul.
No talking in shul.
Davening in the shul.
No davening in the poolish. No, I'm kidding. They sometimes daven in the poolish too.
It's funny.
What's your rooftop? Let's go, baby.
My rooftop message. Yeah, I'm pretty consistent. Everything that I think, maybe not everything, that sounds a little arrogant, but here's the thing. There's no way that we're ever going to be able to do this alone. It's just not going to happen. Like there's too much pain and suffering in the world for everybody to get what they need and for everybody to feel loved and supported unless every single person is taking their own divine gifts and light and bringing it into the world and sharing it with other people. It's not going to happen any other way. Like we need everybody. We need every single person to show up for themselves and for the people around them. And with time, slowly but surely, we're really going to be able to really have real shift and real change in the world. And people are getting better. People are going to continue to get better. But that's how I relate to the idea of community is that, what did you call me the other day? A socialist, a communist?
I would call you a communist.
Yeah, communist. Like, I think that
because you came in. You know what we should do? And we should share all our money. And we should Karl Marx already said this.
That was a little extreme thought. But, the idea is that, like each and every person is blessed with such inner beauty. And, like, everybody has the capacity, like, when I think about things that I've gone through in my own life, I've really come to the conclusion that God gave me a very specific set of circumstances. He put me in a very specific time and place so that I could take my gifts and help other people with it. So that means that if I have that means that you have that. It means that everybody has. That everybody's been developed in a very specific way so that they could be there for somebody else and for another person. I heard it said, I wish I knew from where, that if you want to know what your purpose is in this world, is take the things that you're good at and the things that you love and use those things to help other people. And everybody has something to offer. And if everybody started really looking out for themselves and for the people around them in a meaningful way, in a selfless way, then, we would have, like we're already there. I really think that we're already there. I think like we're in this, like, call it like Mashiach energy, Geula energy. Like we're already there. Like we're at that space where people really do care about other people, right? And like this message is spreading, and there are people that like are more focused on it than others, but if everybody gave some of their time and energy to helping other people, and you don't have to be a healer or a guru or a therapist or a doctor or a helper. Everybody is a helper. Everybody can help other people. Everybody has it already inside of them, and you don't have to wait till you're healed, to be able to help other people. You don't. It's a big misnomer, and it's wrong. And as a matter of fact, one of the things in the 12th step, and it's the way it talks about in the big book. The way that we stay sober is by, carrying the message to other people, by helping other people. I mean, the thing that's quoted the most in the big book, I don't know what the number is, like maybe 86 times in the big book. It says something like, the way that you will maintain your sobriety is by helping other people. And that's just not for sobriety. It's the way that we will be okay in this world is by continuing to perpetuate the light, bringing more goodness into the world, helping more people, supporting each other, loving each other. And yeah, that's my rooftop message.
Sound like a communist, bro. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
That's a great message.
give me like a communist flag.
Some sort of red flag with a hammer and a sickle or something.
Sickle,
it's always red.
KGB.
Why is it red?
I don't know.
Because the China also has red. Maybe that's from the.
Are they communist too in China? Is that?
Well, there's a song in Les Miserables that explains the red.
How does it go? This will be the second song you're singing in this podcast.
I've ever sang. I sang Les Miserables on the podcast.
No, you sang our song earlier.
Because this is when the students are like starting the revolution. So they go, red, the blood of angry men, black, the dark of ages past. Red, maybe I did it wrong.
You know what? I liked it either way.
Red,
Maybe
the
you should
color
start
of
like
desire.
you should start like a whole musical podcast.
Oh, no, I got it right. I'm going to do it again. You ready?
Yes, please.
Sorry. Let's start a musical podcast.
This is gonna be a clip, by the way.
The only thing I know how to sing is Les Mis.
Okay.
He goes, it's a conversation in the song. So he goes, red, the color of desire. No, I messed up again. No, red, the blood of angry men, black, the dark of ages past. Red, the color of desire, black, the color of despair. And he goes, sorry. I don't do it so well.
That is very good.
It was two students talking to each other. One was in love and one was trying to fight the revolution. There was like, this is important stuff.
It is very important stuff.
Where I mean, you have asked me questions.
Yeah.
Where do you want me to go with the podcast?
That's a good
There you
question.
go.
First of all,
As my original producer.
I don't want to wait another 3 years to be invited back, Sonny. Okay, like
Oh, now we're getting down to it.
it's been a few years, like come on, man.
All right.
I'd like to be invited back onto the pod. I'm starting to think you don't like me.
Oh, okay. Well, that's sad.
Now, where would I like to see the podcast
I always showed
go?
that you've been on more pods than anybody else.
That is true. Well, I'm competing
how
with
I
Kiwi.
always-
Kiwi's like, what's Kiwi up
Kiwi's
to?
at 3, you're at 4.
Okay.
Now you have 5.
Okay, so I'm winning Kiwi promo.
But you got the earliest.
Yeah, that's true. And nobody listened to those.
Nobody.
What I would love to see, I'd love to see this pod getting the recognition that it deserves, like that it gets out to more people. More people get to hear the message, and love to see some sponsorship. Maybe people that recognize the value of the message that we're spreading. That want to come on here and help us spread the message by we can use we can
help
use
me
more
pay my
support.
Tesla payments.
Well, yeah, no, we could, this podcast has a long way to go in terms of upgrading the equipment and marketing and different things. So, like, if there's somebody that's listening to this that that wants to partner with us, and that would be very special. I'll say to that, every time somebody stands behind us and they come up to us, especially when it's like unsolicited, and says, "Hey, we recognize and see you, and we see what you're doing, and we want to help and we want to get involved." It really gives me a lot of it really fills me up, because
It's pretty amazing how many times people
Yeah.
have done that.
yeah,
It's
like out of the blue.
yeah. It's weird because for a lot of time we felt alone. Like we're doing this and we're just plugging away, and like as people saw beauty happening, they just hopped aboard. So many people. It's like absolutely stunning. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
That one shocked me.
Yeah, which was, back to like what I was saying before about like the rooftop message. There is a change happening, and people recognize like I might not be able to like physically be there in the room, holding hands or supporting, people that are going through whatever they're going through. But I have other resources. I have financial resources that I could give you, or I could give you my time, or I could connect you with my other contacts. There is no limitation on how you can help. We will host something. We'll help your guys or your women find jobs. Like there's like anybody that wants to help with anything that we're doing, we will find a way for you to help. Like all you got to do is ask. If you call me or Sonny, say, hey, I want to get involved. I want to help. We'll find a way. Tell us what you're good at, what you're amazing at, what you love doing, what you're passionate about, and we'll figure out a way how to implement them to what we're doing. And that's what I was saying. You asked me like about what shocked me, like the people that have gotten involved. Even like the little things, like the challah from the L-bounds. Like it's really meaningful that every single week somebody makes homemade challah for us. It really, it's really sweet. Like we have like one of the guys comes back every single week and he does a fire. Every Tuesday night. He calls it the growth fire. Somebody that went through our program. Like he's not getting paid for it. This is what he wants to do. He wants to come back once a week, build a fire, sit there, just hold space for the guys. Let them actually went this week. Actually, it's so special. Like guys just sitting around, listening to music, maybe singing a song, just schmoozing with a great big fire going on in the backyard. That's the kind of stuff that I think those little things are the things that make the difference.
Yeah. It is also cool that as the community gets bigger, the easier it is to do the work.
Right.
It's just people are like being inserted into a beautiful system of healing. And it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, from an operations standpoint, it is getting more challenging.
It's getting more challenging because there's so many people.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that are a lot of moving parts. But in terms of having people like being held by the system itself.
Yeah, because like the women's program is new.
Yeah.
And I'm watching them go through this. I mean, even though they get to be part of the community right away, it's still they have like kind of their separate community.
Yeah.
And I remember those growing pains of like, there's not enough people loving these people to get the benefit of the community. It's not enough yet. Yeah. It's like we need more people loving these people. We need alumni coming back. We need people holding them. We need, volunteers and coming. Like that's what we have on the guys' side.
Yeah.
In droves.
Yeah.
But it took years. And then like I have to remind myself that like it took a while to build, but when it builds, it's got like its own
own ecosystem.
It's his own ecosystem.
Yeah.
I was thinking it becomes its own monster, but I that sounds bad.
Yeah, monsters are scary.
Unless you're in Dungeons and Dragons, and sometimes the monsters are probably good. I don't know. Anyway, Ellie, I love you. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. And like I said,
I'll invite you more. I didn't realize how insulted you were.
I mean, not like insulted, but we're friends, But yeah, thanks for having me. Especially, I'm really grateful that I get to be the first one to sit in this brand new, beautiful studio.
It's funny. I really pushed you to come in today because I wanted you to be the first one in the studio. And
really, it should have been Chaiki. Chaiki should have been the one to come, but
that's true.
I don't see that.
Sorry, you guys are working together. But I wanted, you had a lot to do with this too. I'm not.
Well, again, you're the dreamer. I'm the implementer. You dream things, and then I figure out how to get it done. How to pay for it.
I love it. But no, because I'm having a podcast tomorrow. I didn't want to have someone have a podcast before you. So there you go.
Appreciate it.
So now in 4 years from now, I'm going to have you back here and we will. I'm going to figure out that Sani thing in Sanskrit. Maybe it's a different language. They speak a couple of languages there.
That's true.
Right now, I'm the slow one.
Oh, well, take your time. Don't rush.
I don't think I've gotten that good a laugh on my podcast yet. That was the best laugh. You didn't even know what was happening. No. That was fantastic. I just opened it. It says the slow one.
Yeah, we could not have scripted that better. Yeah, that was great.
Thank you, Ellie. Love you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this day that I've been given. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this chance. Thank you for this chance to live anew.